Hi everyone, welcome back to another YouTube video. My name is Jay Matthew, and in today's video I'd like to talk about some apps that are on here that I use on a regular basis, or I normally install on every new Mac that I've gotten, and also new ones that I also recently started using that I find great. And I've compiled this list and I'm bringing it to you, and hopefully find something there to start using. With that being said, let's begin. One Switch. So this app makes you do the not so hard stuff the easy way. Just by toggling on or off from the taskbar, you can hide desktop icons, enable or disable dark mode, keep your Mac awake indefinitely, toggle screensaver, connect AirPods with your Mac, and host of other things you can get creative with from the Customize tab of the preference menu. So basically, some of these actions on this app are found in your MacBook settings, but this app makes it very easy for you to toggle them on or off depending on which action you want, like all the bunch of actions that I made clear to you guys. Tick tick. So this is simply a note-keeping app. You can create tasks like you would on any other note-keeping app, check them when done, assign location to them, and also some little stuffs like creating tasks for the future and more. Basically, it does one thing: keep notes in an organized fashion. And why I love it? Well, there's no particular reason why I love it. I saw it and I love the name and I downloaded it and it works. It does exactly what I wanted to do, which is keep notes. Haze over. So this app makes it possible for you to focus more on the current window you're using. It blurs or slightly dims the other windows so you can focus more on the current window. That's what it does basically. I have not bothered to check the preferences to see if there are other stuffs on there, but basically you can play around and get crazy with it if you like. For me, I basically prefer the default settings that it came with. Makes everything tidy. When I switch from one window to another, Pixelmator Pro. For people who would love to do what Photoshop does without actually using Photoshop, this app makes photo editing easier and faster. It has even more capabilities like creating vector designs and removing background from images, which I find very useful when I'm working on a project. It's like Photoshop and Adobe Illustrator combined. So you'll be able to create vector arcs and also edit pixel images. It does it quite easily too. So Pixelmator Pro is joining Photoshop and Adobe Illustrator and comboing it in one intuitive app with a very easy interface and a welcoming experience, if you ask me. And using it, it feels more like Lightroom when you edit images, and it feels more like Illustrator when you are creating vector type graphics. Downy. So with this app, you'll be able to download video from just about any website on the web. I first saw this from a YouTube video and I tried it out. To be honest, this app does what the developer said it would do, which is download videos from YouTube and any sites with video and no download button available. It works perfectly. Works perfectly by you copying the link and pasting it into Downy, and Downy does the rest. Not found any website that Downy was unable to download the video on there, and I've tried a handful of websites and they all work perfectly using Downy to download them. Right. Downy also has an extension for Safari, Firefox and Chrome that makes it also easier for you to grab those videos without you copying the URLs of those videos and pasting it into Downy. Image Optim. I'm a web developer and I build a lot of websites, and those websites relies on a lot of images, and those images have varying sizes. Image Optim acts as an app that I use to reduce the sizes of those images in order not to cause too much cluster on those web platforms, so the site loads faster. You can also use them for basically optimizing images just for any kind of project that you want to do. And also, Image Optim doesn't just reduce the size, it reduces the size without actually losing the quality of the image. So the before and the after, you would not notice any necessarily difference. Sketch. So this app is probably the most popular app in this list, and for that I'm not going to lay too much emphasis on what it does, because I believe so many people watching this video already know what Sketch does. And if you don't know what Sketch does, it is basically an app used to create UI and UX for different client projects. So I've been using this app since 2020. I was using it alongside Adobe XD, and I found myself using it more often because of so much capabilities. And also I love the interface of Sketch, and I love the fact that I could, do more on Sketch, and I found myself using it more. I'm not saying it is better than XD. I'm only pointing out the importance of Sketch and how far I've grown with this app. So I always install Sketch on just about every Mac that I've used, and it is not available on Windows. Final Cut Pro. Okay, Final Cut Pro is a video editing app, and this video was edited using Final Cut Pro. A lot of industries are using Final Cut Pro for their video editing needs. I still use Premiere Pro, but I'll have to talk about the switch to Final Cut Pro on a separate video and more. But you can really get creative using Final Cut Pro. It is very easy and straightforward to use as well. So a lot of YouTubers and even movie industries use this for their professional video edits. You may also want to try it out if you're an entry-level YouTuber or an advanced YouTuber who have been using Premiere Pro. Also try Final Cut. I do install it on every Mac that I've used. Numi. While the name might not sound very interesting, this app happens to be one of the interesting calculators that I've seen. Have you ever wanted to calculate anything using natural language? You can use this app to make human readable calculations, and it's really good. I use it most of the time for very complex calculations that requires declaration of values and some other maths that an ordinary calculator won't do. I also use it for the basic stuffs too. VS Code. So a lot of web developers are already familiar with VS Code, and if you are a web developer and you are not familiar with VS Code, you can install VS Code. It's a code editor, and you thank me later. It has grown to become the most used code editor in the tech industry, with a large collection of extensions. You find that its capabilities grow even further. I have been using this since 2018 for all my web projects. I've also used Atom, Sublime Text, Brackets, and Text++, but this is better, and most people agree. Bartender. If you use a lot of apps on your Mac, you find out over time that your top bar becomes clustered with a lot of app icons. Bartender helps you hide icons you don't want to be seen on the taskbar. I guess the name is well defined. It tends to the top bar, Bartender. There are other customizable settings in the preference. You can go and get crazy in the customization menu. You could drag and drop stuffs that you want to be shown, and you could also disable most things that are shown that you don't want to be shown on the top bar, including the battery, the Bluetooth, and other icons. There, just play around and do your stuff and arrange your stuff. You can also put spaces, and in those spaces you can put icons like an emoji icons like you can see up here, and a lot of stuff that you could do with Bartender. It is basically an app that helps you organize your top bar on your Mac. Sip. Have you ever wanted to pick a color from your screen or on your desktop background? With Sip, you can pick any color from any website or any app and use those colors in your design or web project. I use this a lot because it's really easy to use with the icons at the top bar, and always handy to select colors from any background. Another cool thing about it is that it keeps history of the colors that you have picked in the past, so that you can reuse them as much time as you want. Theme. So sharing files between my MacBook and my iPhone is very easy because, well, the MacBook has AirDrop and the iPhone also have AirDrops. What about sharing stuffs from my iPhone to this Windows machine over here? Then it gets trickier. I'll need a cable, and I'll need iTunes or some other third-party app to sync those files across together. But Film makes it easier. All I need to do is make sure that my iPhone is connected to the same network and my PC is also connected to the same network. I can also send files from this PC to this MacBook over here through Film without stress. They both just need to be connected to the same network. It doesn't require internet connection. Your internet can be down, but you can still share files across the PC and the MacBook easily and fast. The good thing about Film also is that it's cross-platform. You can find it on every OS out there. It's on Linux, it's on Mac, it's on Windows, it's on iOS, it's on Android. It's everywhere. So you can install it on your phone, you can install it on your MacBook, you can install it on your PC, and you can move file across these three platforms easily without any internet connection or without even setting the app up. When you install the app, it checks the network you're on and it finds other Film users on that network and you're good to go. You can also use it to chat between workers at the office, maybe send a message from one person to another, and yeah. So most of these apps are popular. Why most of them are not so popular? So make a choice, one that you like, and the links are down in the description. I'll be updating this list in the near future. But until then, subscribe for more. Follow me on Instagram and Twitter. Thanks for watching. Later.